All right, welcome in to another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. We've got an early ABC card. It's in Saudi Arabia, starts at noon Eastern my time, which is what, 9 o'clock your time?
Yep,
Nice
early morning
card.
card.
Had a lot of changes, a lot of wild shit going on with this card, but I think we've got the fights that we're gonna have. So, what are your thoughts? Any thoughts coming into it on these
A
fights?
lot of changes, a lot of dropouts, a lot of weird stuff going on here.
Yeah, it's
So
going to be interesting, but as always, there's money to be made, so we will try to make it. We'll jump right into our first fight here. We've got two debuting fighters, and I've got too many things up here. There we go. Two debuting fighters from the Asian scene. We have Zhao Long taking on Chang Ho Lee. A lot of unknown with these two guys, but two pretty decent prospects, I guess. We'll see. What are your thoughts here?
yeah, this is the road to the UFC final. So these guys, I don't know. I've watched tape on both of them. Not really too impressed by either one of them. Yeah, this was a tough one. I think the odds are right. It's pick 'em. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would definitely lean Long Zhao just because of striking, and I think he's going to need to get a takedown Tung Lo Lee if he wants to have any success here, because I don't think his striking is very good. Yeah, so I'm going to lean with Zhang Lao or whatever, Long Zhao, but yeah, nothing too confident.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off on the opposite side here. I bet Lee. He was plus 105 earlier in the week, so I took a shot. Two debuting fighters. He seems to have more finishing upside of the two, or at least he has recently. It's a lot of unknown with these fighters. One guy is finishing guys relatively regularly. The other guy isn't, but Long's good. He's confident, or he's composed. He's solid. His striking's good. Well-rounded fighter. He handles submission attempts well. He's been in a couple of bad spots. Didn't panic. Got out of them. So to me, it's a 50-50 fight. I technically bet the dog. He's still slightly a dog, but yeah, it's basically 50-50 pick 'em fight. So. We're on opposite ends, but yeah, not a lot of conviction out of either one of us.
I have no confidence here in this one.
All right, we'll move on to one that may be a little bit more confident, but still rough. We've got Magomed Gadzhimagulov taking on Brendan Ribeiro. Ribeiro, big power, wild. Not sure he's got much of a gas tank. I'm going to just call him Magomed. He's looked good so far. Solid wrestling, good, really good striking. Saw him fade a little bit in his last fight. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Ribeiro pretty much round one or bust. Little to no cardio. Swings like a maniac. He brings the fight. He's going to be coming forward. He's going to be trying to get finished, not really caring if he gets finished. Pretty much round one or bust. Gadzhimagulov, I'm not really too impressed with this guy. He didn't look the greatest on the Contender Series. He fought my Theo from the backyard. Couldn't knock him out, which was a pretty rough look. And his tape to me isn't all that impressive. So he probably knocks Ribeiro out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ribeiro could catch him in round one, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we got to Zulov round one, maybe KO, but another one where I'm just like, I don't really want to lay minus 300 with this guy after he couldn't even finish the fucking guy on the Contender Series. Like, you can finish that guy. Can't
Yeah.
finish that guy. I mean, just
Yeah, he put a pretty good beating on him, but he just couldn't put him away. It was not the best of looks.
Yeah, so I'm not the highest on this Gadzhi Zulov guy. I'd probably be look to fade him going forward, but I mean, I definitely think he's a side here. I mean, probably knocks him out
Yeah,
somewhat
I
early.
agree.
But with these new gloves and all these non-existent knockouts, I don't even know violence. You know?
Yeah, I think at some point that trend is going to shift. I can't imagine the change in the gloves is going to make that much of a difference. And I think, if you're betting this guy, you're going to bet him to win at least inside the distance. I'd say probably by knockout, because I don't think Ribeiro is going 3 rounds. Regardless, if Ribeiro wins, it's probably by first round KO. I think Gadzhi Zulov has better striking. His body kicks are great. So if he lands to the body against a guy with no cardio, that's a way to get him out of there. So Gadzhi Zulov is the pick for me. He could easily get knocked out in the first round, but not high on Ribeiro. Don't think his cardio is very good, and I think Gadzhi Zulov gets him out of there at some point. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We have Young Ho Kang taking on Muin Gafurov. Kang, he's a tough one for me. Sometimes he looks really good, and other times just too passive. And I don't know. You just never know what you're going to get with him. Gafurov, still a lot of unknown with him. Pretty new to the UFC. Goes forward. That's one thing you do know, and looks to brawl. What are your thoughts on this one?
It's another tough one for me because I'm really I've backed Kang before, and he's come through for me, but then he's also let me down. So it's like, I don't know. He's got decent striking, decent volume, good cardio. He's going to be there for 3 rounds. He can mix in some grappling. And Gafurov, I don't know. Since Gafurov came to the UFC, I haven't been really too impressed. I mean, I question his cardio. I mean, I guess he has decent striking and good power, but maybe he can mix in the grappling and get King down. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with the dog here in this spot. I like King here. I can't lay minus 165 now on Gafurov. Probably at a pick'em, I would probably take the shot on Gafurov, but this is dog or pass for me. Written all over it.
I was back and forth on this one. 2 things that kind of weighed in on me for me was Gafurov does come forward and he does push the pace, which often the judges will favor that. But also he's somewhat of a local fighter. So, sometimes that goes a long way. Crowd will be on his side. Judges could be swayed by big actions. So I like Gafurov. I mean, I think either guy probably wins a decision. I could see this fight going all 3 rounds. But I think Gafurov, not hometown, but somewhat hometown kind of sway there.
From Tajikistan. So
somewhat local, not like next door, but much closer than where Kang's from. But so I think it's gonna be a close fight. I think just him pushing the action a little bit more might be the difference maker. But 50-50 fight, and I think the fight goes all 3 rounds. So either way, either guy you bet, I'd probably bet him with an over at least 1.5 just to get a better price on him. But again, it's close fight. Our next fight is in the welterweight division. We have Renat Fakhretdinov taking on Nicholas Dalby. And I like Fakhretdinov, but I don't know. He didn't. His cardio failed him late in that last fight. Nicholas Dalby can push a pace, but Fakhretdinov has all the skills to beat Dalby here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was high on this Fakhretdinov guy until the Zaletsky fight, where he just completely dominated the first 2 rounds, almost finished him, and then just completely death gasses in the third. Yeah, I like his wrestling. He's got good power. He's got good striking if the wrestling isn't going for him. But I think he should easily be able to get takedowns here on Dalby and get some good positions on top and land some ground and pound. But Dalby is just one of these sneaky dogs, man, that just he's always pulls a rabbit out of his ass and just comes in, cashes the big dog.
Yeah.
You know. It's another tough one. Like I honestly thought about taking a shot on Dalby, but I think I'm going to have to go with Fakhretdinov here.
Yeah,
Probably Fakhretdinov by decision, or maybe Fakhretdinov in over 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Dalby, I believe I don't think he's ever officially. I think he's been knocked out, but the fight was overturned. But historically, all his losses on his record are decision losses. So, not an easy guy to get out of there by any stretch.
No.
So yeah, Fakhretdinov with the over, definitely live. I could see it easily going 3 rounds.
Fakhretdinov decision is -110. So I mean,
yeah, and we saw Dalby in a really bad spot in his last fight. We all thought he was finished in the first round. Johnny's over there sweating soccer, but yeah, I mean Dalby's a survivor, and I think he can. I think he can survive, and he's going to make this a tough fight. But I think Fakhretdinov probably gets it done in the end. And
what is Dalby round 3?
That's a good question. I haven't looked at that.
Wow, 30.
Yeah, that might not be worth. That might be worth a sprinkle.
I mean, a little sprinkle. Hold on, what's Dalby KO round 3? 33. Yeah. I don't know. That could be interesting to me. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah. Could be a good live spot, too. I mean, I would assume Fakhretdinov gets off to a good start here.
But if he's not getting the takedowns on Dalby, then I mean he's probably expending a lot of energy, and Dalby's competitive on the feet. I don't know. Good live betting opportunity. Yeah.
So we like the overs. We like the live betting shots here. And potentially Dalby late. But officially, I'm on Fakhretdinov. You're on Fakhretdinov.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. All right. Our next fight is a featherweight bout. We have Muhammad Naimov taking on Felipe Lima, making his debut. Naimov is a guy I've kind of underrated so far in his career in the UFC, but he's found a way by hook or by crook to win fights. He gets outstruck in every fight except for the last fight, which was really quick. One strike was landed, ended due to injury, but he seems to find a way. He takes some damage, but he delivers it as well. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, another guy I'm not high on. I'm not high on Naimov. I don't know if he's that good. He's a fucking. He likes to cheat in there and grab the cage and do any kind of little move he can to get the upper hand. So I don't know. Point being taken away could be live here. I'm not too high on this guy. I don't know. He just didn't impress me. And Lima, I mean, from what I've seen from Lima, I mean, he's looked pretty decent. He's got some good grappling, some good reversals, some good BJJ. I don't know. I think Lima can make it interesting here. He is making his debut, which is, but I think he can make it interesting here. I like him here to get the win over Naimov.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this one. Again, Naimov kind of has the local type advantage somewhat. But yeah, I mean Lima seems like he's a tough out. He's one thing I don't like is he has gone to quite a few decisions on the regional scene, but he seems like he's fighting relatively tough guys. So that might not be a great indicator of anything. Making his debut, I'm leaning Naimov here, but yeah, it's a close one. I haven't placed a bet on this fight, and I'm not sure what I want to do with it. All right, we will move on. Our next fight is in the lightweight division. We have two kind of middling lightweights. We have Nasrat Haqparast taking on Jared Gordon. Gordon's had a lot of weird fights lately, but solid overall fighter. Haqparast, again, another solid overall fighter, tough out. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, another one where I really don't like either one of these guys. Yeah, I mean, I guess Jared Gordon, he's a good fighter. I mean, I guess he's pretty well-rounded. He can mix in the wrestling. He's got okay striking, nothing too explosive. Yeah, and then Haqparast is just, I don't know. This guy's kind of been, I mean, he's all right. He's got good striking, good power. I think he can get the job here, but again, Gordon is kind of that junkyard dog that can make it, make it greasy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is 1-1 going into the third, where it's a close fight. I think Haqparast should win, but another one. Do I really want to lay minus 240 with Haqparast against Jared Gordon? No.
Right, exactly.
So it's like tough. Maybe Haqparast and over 1.5. I mean, yeah, that's minus 165. I mean, even maybe a Jared Gordon plus 3.5 and think he can win a round. I don't know how to approach this fight. I think Haqparast probably wins, but I mean, this is another one where it was tough for me to find a side here.
Yeah, I was honestly looking because I thought that the plus 3.5 on Gordon was worth it. And I'm looking, I'm seeing minus 115 right now.
Yeah.
And I know he's almost a 2-1 dog here, but I don't think he should be. I think he could be worth a bet, but I think the best way to go is bet him at plus 3.5. And I don't see either one of these guys just running away with this fight at all. I think it's a close fight. If you want to take a dog shot, it's worth it. I do think Haqparast probably gets the job done, but yeah, the plus 3.5 to me was the thing that I saw that I thought was the best bet for this fight. And if you are betting Haqparast, I definitely would be betting him with the over 1.5 or probably even by decision. I don't think he's going to finish Jared Gordon. I'd be shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we pretty much on the same page there.
Yeah, we see that fight exactly the same. So, yeah, for me, I think I'll probably have Gordon plus 3.5. I might throw that in some kind of a parlay just to, make it worth my while. But that's pretty much it. Our next fight is, these fights are insane here. Johnny Walker, we got a light heavyweight bout between Johnny Walker, Volkan Ozdemir. Ozdemir, I don't know, man. I feel like he's beating some cans. Walker's super chinny, so he could get caught at any point. But overall, I do think he is probably the better fighter, more well-rounded fighter. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's another one where I really don't like either guy. I think Volkan is probably washed. He's getting up there in age. He's declined in his last couple of fights. He's not finishing anybody. He's pretty much doing this low volume point style fighting. Except he got that bum out of there. Not the bum. He went on a 2-fight run, but Guskov. He finished
Yeah,
Guskov.
yeah,
Yeah, they call him no time, but it's taking all the time now. So,
all the time.
so it's
Except for
taking
that
all
one.
15.
Yeah,
Yeah, except for that one. So I don't know. I'm not too impressed with him. Johnny Walker, you know what you're getting with him. He's a glass cannon, explosive, good power. I mean, pretty well rounded. I mean, we've seen him kind of change his strategy since been training in Ireland, where he's been kind of more like kind of pacing himself more and not doing the dumb shit. You know, the
yeah,
Anthony Smith fight. I mean, he could have finished Anthony Smith, but he just kind of just point fighted him. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pick Johnny Walker to win here, and yeah, I mean, I just don't
yeah.
like Ozdemir, and
I'm on
I
Johnny
mean,
as
I like
well.
Ozdemir, yeah, so
Yeah, I'm on Johnny as well. A lot of it is because I just don't think Ozdemir is very good. Johnny could mix in some grappling and, just take Ozdemir's biggest power out of the game, which is his power. Um, yeah, I think Johnny Walker could win. The John Kavanaugh, smart game plan should be enough. He could get caught at any point. He is, like you said, he is a glass cannon. Um, but yeah, I think outside of getting clipped with something, I think he probably controls most of this fight. So Johnny Walker for me here. All right. Our next fight this is probably one of the craziest ones. This fight's probably changed 4 times since it was booked. We've got a middleweight bout between Shara Magomedov and Antonio Tricoli. Um, I'm not high on Tricoli at all. Magomedov seems like the real deal. Seems like he's got some pretty good upside here. Pretty big favorite. What are your thoughts here?
yeah. I mean, Shara's striking is pretty elite. He throws good power. Then my big question is his takedown defense, as we've seen. I mean, Bruno Silva took him down for 2 rounds and pretty much, but he was throwing a lot of punches from the bottom. But anybody else other than Bruno Silva, I mean, I think they can probably win that fight. But yeah, I like his striking. I like his power. I mean, he has potential to be good. He's got to work on his takedown defense, and he's Russian, Dagestani, and somehow he doesn't have any
Right.
takedown defense, which doesn't
Yeah.
really make any sense, right?
Yeah.
Um, and Tricoli, I mean, this guy has been booked here. No, you're fighting here. No, you're fighting this guy. Now he's traveling all the way to Saudi Arabia. I mean, the tape is pretty. I mean, I don't think he's very good. Yeah, it's probably Shara by knockout.
Yeah. I think that
Probably.
travel is big too. The travel's huge. That's a big disadvantage for Tricoli. Yeah,
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe Tricoli can get a takedown. I don't know.
yeah. The
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
though, even if he
Think.
does, I think Magomedov is active enough to where he'll find his way to the feet. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really high on Tripoli at this point.
Well, I mean, he's not. I don't think he's very good.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. Like
there's
it just
no
seems like
not to be high on him. I
yeah,
mean,
it just
he's
seems
just
like it's
he's right now. He's just a warm body, pretty
right. Yeah,
much.
exactly.
So I mean, he's a minus 750 favorite. So maybe
Is
the
it up
under
to
one and a
that?
half. Yeah, he's minus 750.
Yeah,
I
it's not.
see.
I took a few baseball plays and I parlayed him, but his number was a lot lower, so I got the plus money. But uh, yeah, I mean, I think this is probably one way traffic here. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, our next fight is, I mean, another. I This fight's now a middleweight bout because Kelvin Gastelum was not able to come close to making weight. So we've got Gastelum taking on Daniel Rodriguez. At this point in both of their careers, I'm not high on either guy, but the Gastelum news of him not even being close to making weight is, I don't know. I think I got to take the dog shot here with Rodriguez. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think both guys are washed. I'm not a big fan of D-Rod. He's, you know, we've had our encounters before.
Yeah.
As if you've watched this channel and you've heard the stories. So, I mean, yeah, I think both these guys are washed. I don't know what D-Rod's got left in the tank. He's coming off that suspension, the steroid suspension, the Ulsterine. He popped for Ulsterine. He said it was a contaminated substance, so I guess he's back. And then Kelvin, I mean, I don't know what the fuck to expect from this guy. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's taking it seriously. Like, he takes a fight at 170, and he's making YouTube videos where he's talking about episode 1 of Missing Weight, where he goes and eats 50 tacos in 20 minutes. Like,
yeah, what are we doing?
You know, and, like, what do we do? You're a month out, and you're posting that saying a podcast missing weight. Like, come on, dude, take this shit serious. You're already not on the best of runs right now. You know, you're trying to move down to 170. Now, they originally agreed, okay, it'll be a catch weight at 180, and you can't even make 180, and 185 is going to be a rough cut for you. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, but I mean, I think both these guys are washed. But at the number, I gotta. As harder for me as it to say, at the number, the plus money, I gotta take D-Rod here. I can't trust Kelvin Gastelum to come in here with, you know, and like, what kind of training camp were you doing, bro? Like,
yeah, he wasn't doing it. The training camp. I mean, he's the better fighter overall, but
originally I thought I was going to be on him, but then I'm seeing all this bullshit, and now it's like, I can't lay minus 250 on this dude.
Yeah, no way. I'll take my shot. I'll take my shot here. It's just, there's just no way. I mean, Gastelum hasn't even really looked great in his recent fights anyway, even in his win over Chris Curtis.
Sean Brady ragdolled him. I thought he was losing the Chris Curtis fight if it wasn't for that accidental headbutt. Chris Curtis put it on him in round 3.
Yeah, he should have lost rounds 2 and 3 in that fight.
Yeah. And
yeah,
I mean, the level of competition is good, but I mean, you know, I don't know. If
you're not in shape, it's not good. It's just a bad guy can beat an out of shape guy at this level. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll take my shot on D-Rod. If it fails, it fails. But there's just no way I can back Kelvin at this point. It's just I just can't. All right, our next fight is our co-main event. We've got Sergey Pavlovich taking on Alexander Volkov. Pavlovich coming off that the Tom Aspinall loss, but the dude's got all the power in the world, tough as nails. Taking on Volkov, vet. He's got good size. The one thing I don't like about this fight is these guys are friends, and they didn't want to fight each other. But I like Pavlovich here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, another interesting one. I mean, Pavlovich, you watch the tape, it's round 1, baby. He's putting it on you. He's catching you with that big power, or he's getting finished himself. I like his striking here. I mean, Volkov, I mean, he's a good fighter. He's, you know, I like Volkov, but I just think Pavlovich just has that game-changing power. And I think if he's able to keep it on the feet, I mean, clearly Volkov has a wrestling advantage here, but will he use it? I mean, and Pavlovich looks fucking jacked, dude. He looks like he's taking all the vitamins, bro. He's like fucking yoked.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think eventually even if Volkov tries to take him down. I don't know if he can. He's just so fucking big.
Yeah, I think Pavlovich is so big and strong that at least the first 2 or 3 attempts are not going to be easy.
But I could see a path of Volkov here where he survives round 1 and extends it by mixing and grappling and possibly gassing Pavlovich.
Yeah.
I bet the under 1.5 already. What number is that now? What's the number now? Yeah, it's -165. I bet it -140 and -130. I think that's a great bet because I think if you're betting Pavlovich, you're betting Pavlovich in round 1 because he's gonna just absolutely bump this fool. And then, honestly, I wouldn't mind. What's the Volkov decision? Maybe Volkov just takes him down, like you said. They're friends. It's +650. But yeah, I think this is Pavlovich. Pavlovich catches him. Yeah, Pavlovich is up to -275 now, huh?
Yeah, this is one of those weird ones.
And then
where
also in training, Volkov said when he sparred him, he doesn't even remember sparring him. He just remembers getting hit, and then he's in the locker room. Like every time Pavlovich touched him, it hurt him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that he's just bullshitting or he's trying to throw a little smoke screen there, but I think that could totally be true.
Could be true.
So yeah, I like Pavlovich here. Pavlovich KO round 1.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I'm looking at it too.
Under 1.5 is my bet.
Yeah, Volkov has had problems with a lot of the heavy hitters in the division. Yeah, the one fear is that they are friends and it does kind of get extended and but I don't know. I don't think Pavlovich is gonna play that game. He needs a win. He has the ability to be a champion. You can't play around. You gotta go for the kill. But yeah, Kegs and the chat, he's saying he sprinkled Volkov sub, which that's definitely, I could see that for sure. If the fight gets extended, I could see Volkov grabbing something. But yeah, for me, it's Pavlovich KO. I think he gets him out of there early, and
yeah, and I love the 1.5 because I mean, if Volkov does shoot a takedown in round 1 and gets him down, I can easily see him. Pavlovich could be the time we've seen Pavlovich on his back. He's looked like a fish out of water. Right. So I could see Volkov taking him down early and maybe getting mount and maybe subbing him or ground and pound. Could easily see that happening. So that's another reason why I love the under 1.5.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. We will move on to the main event. This is another fight that was changed about a week and a half ago. Got Robert Whittaker taking on Ikram Aliskerov. Whittaker was training for a fight with Hamzat. Hamzat did what he does and he pulled out. Interesting fight here. Whittaker, the savvy vet, his only losses in this weight class are to the champions, twice to Izzy, once to I can't even think of his name now. Dricus. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Bobby Knuckles, when you know what you're getting with him, he's just a grimy vet, great striking. I mean, just a solid fighter all around. I love me some Bobby Knuckles, good cardio, good, championship pedigree, championship rounds, all that. Yeah, pretty solid. And then Ikram, I mean, really, this is his biggest step up. This is his biggest step up in competition. And, you got your fight canceled last week, and now you got to come over, fly to Saudi Arabia and fight in 5 rounds against Bobby Knuckles, that's a tall task to overcome. Yeah, but Ikram, he's concerning for me is Bobby's been stunned in his last couple of fights pretty bad, and Ikram does have that power early to catch him. So
yeah,
I bet Bobby Knuckles at -130. I think he's able to stay safe in round 1 and just take over the fight and just put that volume and and be able to stay safe. Yeah, I bet Bobby. I like Bobby.
Yeah, that's where I'm
pretty
at too.
confident.
I feel like we're getting good value here. This is one of those spots where I'm gonna go with it until I'm
Like, who
proven
the fuck
otherwise.
has this guy? Who the fuck has this guy fought? Big Ron.
Right,
Like,
he has literally
Hamzat. He got knocked out by Hamzat, and then he fought Phil Hawes and fucking
Alves.
Willie Alves. Yeah,
Cooked. Cooked. Phil Hawes, terrible. And honestly, I thought the beginning of that fight, Phil Hawes was catching him a little bit. He's off to a decent start.
Yeah,
and
Phil Hawes looked decent, but Phil Hawes has no chin, so
right, it's Phil Hawes, so it's just one shot and it's over. We've seen it time and time again. So yeah, give me the championship pedigree. Give me the guy who's been there, done that. I'll take Whittaker all day, every day. This is one of those ones where I'd rather go with the guy who's been there and who's proven himself time and time again. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But yeah, give me Whittaker all day here.
Yep, I bet him -130.
Yeah,
so
the line's
right now,
climbing. He's
like -150 now.
Yeah,
I think the value's still there. I mean,
I still like it. For sure.
Yeah.
There's risk in the first round. I feel like after the first round, I don't even think it's competitive after the first round, if I'm being honest. The first round.
No, I mean, this guy's you gotta come in on short notice, fly all the way to Saudi Arabia, cut weight again, and then fight 5 rounds with this cardio monster. I mean, I don't know. He could fucking go out there and starch him in round 1. Definitely could. But
yeah,
I like Bobby. Yeah.
Me too. And I think if you're looking at it like narratives, he was training to fight Hamza. I feel like he's probably put everything into that camp because he wants to stop the hype train. He wanted a big win there.
Oh, big win over Hamza, then you probably get a title shot.
Yeah, you keep yourself right in the title picture. Yeah. Like he's got to be at his best form, I would think. So yeah, I don't know. It's give me Whittaker. If he gets starched in the first round, I feel like that's the only way he loses. But I'll take that chance. And that'll do it. So again, this card starts early. This is a noon Eastern start. So if you're a DraftKings player, you're probably going to want to get your DraftKings lineups in Friday night. Just make sure you got everything situated. We'll be on the live show as we always are all day Saturday. We've got Xfinity.
Bellator card the same time.
Yep.
PFL Friday. So a lot of stuff going on.
I'll be looking at some PFL Bellator type stuff, see what kind of parlay pieces.
Yeah, I've seen some spots I like on PFL.
Yeah. So there's going to be plenty of bets.
I like Bruno Miranda over Patricky Pitbull. -110.
Okay, I like that too.
I think Patricky's washed.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, there's a lot to look at, a lot of money to be made, a lot of bets. Got NASCAR. Although I don't know what we're going to get from NASCAR this weekend because the rain.
I think it looks like rain all weekend, right?
Yeah, so we might be looking at a Monday, Tuesday type race. But like I said, we're going to be live for all of it. So if there's NASCAR, we'll be live. And obviously we'll be live for the fights. So tune in. Join the Discord. Join the Patreon. Got like a month and a half or so before the website drops. You get in now, $30 a month. You'll be grandfathered in for life. So that's a massive value. If you're not in, get in, and it's worth it. It's worth every penny. But yeah, that's it for me, Johnny. You got anything else?
No. Good luck.
All right.
See you guys this weekend.
All right. For Johnny, I'm Tommy. We're out. Good luck this weekend.
Laters.